I was just being told the story. So my grandfather moved to North America a little before Columbus, not very long before Columbus, and he probably brought live groundhogs with him. Probably trying to accelerate the process of what was inevitable. And he came here ahead of something that he had heard discussed by people out wherever he was, because he moved around a lot. And knew that they were organizing, all the steps that need to be put together in order for a larger group of Europeans to show up here in the U.S. or in America. And so Gramps was on his way over here, either to find him or to divert them with Columbus. And my grandfather settled in this area. I was being told that there might be a couple of different ways to say Sher and or different meanings. It's not uncommon for people in the Chinese language groups to name a child after an ancestor, but to change the meaning of the name, to change the pronunciation very slightly, or to use an alternate character for a very similar sound. And he was basically the Indians that were settled here, that he was main chief of, or really a king of, and this time much more so than in China. When the Indian Removal Act happened, they said, okay, all right, we'll go pack. And then they just never left. And they kind of just settled in and blended in and are still here. In fact, most of the people around me are descendants of that group. And not living too terribly different than they did back in the day, but there were people that were, there was different statuses and stuff. The higher status people tend to range further than the lower status people, unless there's some sort of pipeline to forcibly remove people and transfer them. Anyway, that's who I've been getting information from about. Basically, he's just telling me to go out there and try every mushroom I know is not poisonous, and do different things with them. And I've been looking online, at stuff that's published, and I'm not competing with most of the drug companies here, because what I'm reading is published after they're done with it. So they know that herbal extracts and different methods, and that nutraceuticals are really what's going to be happening, medicinal foods, major dietary changes, and things like that. Anyway, when Dad came here in the 1800s, he never really believed his father that he was his father. And it's hard to explain that to an adult. But now they're kind of connecting, and Dad needs him to help with the marketing, the mass rollout of making sure that people have the materials that they need. He still doesn't like the idea of selling herbs and medicines, but the implements that people need to make these medicines and a lot of other moving parts are completely acceptable. and need somebody to administrate them.